Just doing the usual live stream test, sound check. Okay, looks all good. Keep my phone on that in case we need it. Should need that for now. Okie dokie. So, Monday again, back, we're streaming again, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week with the Astro setup from our website, so building a personal portfolio blog. And I think we just got up to collections. So we were just going through the docs for basically building out collections, because we are putting together, or we're going to put together the content types around newsletters and projects. So, newsletters and projects, and then the list pages to follow after that and stuff. So I just want to get grips with collections and whether it's the right thing to use. And then we can get into, once we set up those content types, then we can get into start fleshing out the pages. And I think we'll start with, in fact, I think we'll go kind of backwards actually a little bit. We'll start with the newsletter and the project template. Obviously scaffold out like all the header and footer, and all that the basic stuff around that. But then we'll kind of work backwards from there. So we'll build out those two individual content types, which means then building the listicle page will be easier, and then building the home page will be easier because we can have the newsletter section in here, and then these are just going to be very, very simple static content things. They're not going to have content types attached around. Maybe the About Me and Now page will have a generic sort of content type that we can have a sort of like a splash title with an image, a content section with images in between, and then like the email sign up at the bottom. And the home page will just stand on its own, because that's just, you don't need to make multiple home pages, so that'll just be easy pickings. So start with these. So we'll go back to the documentation we had on collections, and we'll go from there. I think we'll try and build out the newsletter content collection first, because I think it'll be simpler than the project one, and we can just start throwing things together in Astro then as well. Oops, wrong screen. All right, so let's get to the content collection. Okay, so I left the tab here from last week. Yes, so we kind of all went through all this, and we were here. So we're just going to carry on from where we left off in here. So organizing with subdirectories. So in the article, it covered multiple content collections. So under the source content folder, close up all these source. Don't have a content folder actually. New folder, content or contents, content. Then newsletter, blog, authors. So we're going to have newsletter and project. Newsletter, project, and we'll add it, but we're not going to fill it in for now. We'll have article, just so we remember to come back to that. All right, article / blog. I think article makes more sense for kind of professional reading, so we'll have that. Okay, yes, so we're in here. So organizing with subdirectories. So a contents collection is always a top level folder inside the source content directory. You cannot nest one collection inside one of another. However, you can use subdirectories to organize your content within a collection. For example, you can use the following directory structure to organize I18N translations with a single docs collection. When you query this collection, you'll be able to filter the result by language using the file path. Well, that's good. Oh, so subdirectories within collections, right? Okay, that could be useful for the future. Defining collections. So the source content config.ts file is optional. However, choosing not to define your collections will disable some of their best features like front matter schema validation or automatic TypeScript typings. To get the most out of your content collections, create a content config.ts file in your project with a .js and MJS extension also supported. I'll keep it as a TypeScript one. This is a special file Astro will automatically load and use to configure your content collections. So I'll just take that as a starting point. So config.ts, paste that in. So first line is to import utilities from Astro content. Define collection. Next is to define your collection or collections. So blog collection and a bunch of whatever is going to go in here, config, and export a single collection object to register your collections. This key should match your collection directory in name source content. So ours is going to be newsletter collection, newsletter. We're going to have alpha slaughter because I'm a stickler for that. Article collection, newsletter, and project. Should have done that a bit smarter than Bernard. Project collection. I'll just copy and paste this for now. So we'll figure out what's going to go in those in a minute. If you do not extend Astro's strict or strictest recommended TypeScript settings in your TS config, you may need to update your TS config to enable strict null checks. So TS config, yeah, we do. So we're on the strictest version, that'll be fine. If you use JS or MJS files in Astro project, you can enable IntelliSense by type checking your editor to allow JS in your TS config. Pretty sure we already have that, but we'll come back to that if we need it. Define a collection schema. So this is where we're going to get into the nitty-gritties. Schemas enforce consistent front matter or entry data within a collection. A schema guarantees that this data exists in a predictable form when you need to reference or query it. If any file violates its collection schema, Astro will provide a helpful error to let you know. Schemas also power Astro's automatic TypeScript typings for your content. When you define a schema for your collection, Astro will automatically generate and apply a TypeScript interface to it. The result is full TypeScript support when you query your collection, including property autocompletion and type checking. So it's just a way of validating the front matter that's going to be in like MDX files and whatnot. So that's handy through TypeScript as well. To define your first collection, you create we've already done that. So if it already exists, import the proper utilities from Astro content, we've done that. Define each collection that you'd like to validate. This includes a type introduced in Astro 2.5, specifying whether the collection contains content authoring formats like Markdown, type content, or data formats like JSON and YAML, type data. It also includes a schema that defines the shape of your front matter for entry data. Okay. So I haven't added anything for this so far. We said we do newsletter first. So blog collection. This is using Zod, I'm guessing. What the Z is. Z for Zod. Okay, these a bit of spacing. So define a type and schema for each collection. So ours will be type content and schema will be, I imagine, the front matter, and then the content is just, you don't have to create a schema for that. That'll just be, I don't know, inherent. So for us, looking back at the things, we'll start with newsletter. We're going to have a title. We have a title, a publish date, and I'm not sure whether to make that, come back to that. I don't think that's really data light. So the idea being of like explaining how long a read this is going to be and stuff, but I don't think that needs to be schema content in particular. So really for newsletter, let's keep it simple for now. We're just going to need a title. Maybe a title, an edition number, and a publish date. Just copy that for formatting. So our newsletter type is going to be like this. It's going to be content. Auto formatting's not working very well right now. So yeah, type content schema. So we're going to want a, oops. Are we going to want tags and whatnot? Haven't factored in tagging things, but I suppose with Obsidian and the way I'm writing the newsletters, I'm giving you a little bit of sneak peek here of the first edition. So first edition, Shh, don't tell anybody, secret. So edition 1, daily walks. I haven't kind of really tagged things a lot, so I'll leave it for now because I don't like just throwing in things for the sake of it if we're not going to use it. So leave that out of the way for now. So go back to this. We'll keep it simple. So we're going to have a title. Tags we'll leave for now. Image, that's a good one actually. Can't remember if we put that on here. We haven't really got like a main image, but it would be useful to have like a main image, also like a thumbnail image. Even if it's not like behind here, it can be presented somewhere else. So it can be like main, or sort of like thumbnail. Yeah, so what do we say? Thumbnail, title, edition. And that's likely it for now. Keep it simple. So let's go back to the docs. So defining multiple collections, it's just the same. It's just the same. Yeah, so as things kind of get bigger, sort of better to separate the schemas, but we don't really need to do that for now. Use 30 collection schemas. Don't really need that. Define data types with Zod. That's just giving us all sorts of types. Oh, that's actually a better type for the main image. That'd be much better. Oh, we said a publish date, didn't we? Yeah, we forgot about that. So publish date. I will actually take, I'll take this for image because we do want to supply an alt for the image always for thumbnail. And I will steal that actually because that will be useful. Because if we want to be writing the newsletters and like checking it like in dev locally and stuff, but we don't want to publish. I've not thought this through entirely in terms of like be able to publish newsletters ahead of time on the website. So it'd be easy enough to do in Beehive, where we can write up the newsletter and just set it up to publish at a certain date. But for this, where we're going to be statically generating the whole site, it might be that we have these statuses for sort of like draft to make sure things don't get published before they should, and a publish date, so that when publish date, so that for when it is past the publish date, I really need to fix Prettier to format these, so that when in fact, hold on, is it Prettier? No. I'll come back to it on the next thing. Be something to configure. Yeah, because I don't like the semicolons everywhere, but we'll live with it for now. We'll just live with it for now. So when it's got a publish date, we could have GitHub Actions run, say like daily, and daily, if it checks through the collections, and I'm sure there'll be something in Astro somewhere where if it's past the publish date or on the publish date and the GitHub Actions is running, when it goes to republish the site, it will actually pull in that content if it's past the publish date. I'm pretty sure we could do that quite easily. So then I could write up a whole bunch of like newsletters and articles and don't have to worry about hitting the button on the days where they need to be published. I can just let the GitHub Actions cron job like do it for me and stuff, so that'd be nice. So defining collection references. Collection entries can also reference other related entries. With the reference function for collection, I don't think we need to get into this, but let's have a quick look. With the reference function from the collections API, you can define a property in a collection schema as an entry from another collection. For example, you can require that every space shuttle entry includes a pilot property, which uses the pilot collection's own schema for type checking, auto completion, and validation. A common example is a blog post that references reusable author profiles stored as JSON or related post URLs stored in the same collection. So blog and authors. Yeah, so reference authors for that. Yeah. Reference blog. Oh, relate post. Right, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Defining custom slugs. When using the content, every content entry generates a URL-friendly slug property from its file ID. The slug is used to query the entry directly from your collection. It's also useful when creating new pages and URLs from your content. You can override an entry's generated slug by adding your own slug property to the file front matter. This is similar to the permalink feature of other web frameworks. Slug is a special reserved property name that is not allowed in your custom collection schema and will not appear in your entry's data point. Okay, I will see what comes out the other side for file ID. If it's serviceable as is, then what I would hope it do is just, create newsletter / and then, the newsletter name, the title of the MD file, but we'll see what it does out the bat. If it doesn't do that, we'll adjust it to do that. Querying collections. Yes, this would just be useful for the list pages, getting collections, getting a single entry collection. So assessing reference data. We're not too bothered about this for now. We're not going to need anything this complex. Filtering collection queries, using right. So this is what we're going to need. Using content Astro templates. Once you've queried your collection entries, you can access each entry inside of your Astro component template. This lets you render HTML for things like links in your content. Use the content slug data property. Yeah, so passing content as props. Yeah. Yeah, we just need to make a sort of a general sort of output page. Yeah, so this is the sort of thing we're looking for. So generating routes from content. Content collections are stored outside the pages directory. This means that no routes are generated for your collections, and it's by default. You need to manually create a new dynamic route. Okay, yeah. So your dynamic route will map the incoming request param, Astro param slug. So source pages blog slug.astro. Okay. So ours is going to be source pages, and then it's going to be the newsletter slash start.slug.astro. Just check that. Yep, triple.slug astro. Yeah. To fetch the correct entry inside a collection. The exact method for generating routes will depend on your build output mode. Static by default, server-side rendered. Is the other one. Building for static output. If you're building static website, Astro's default behavior, you would use the get static paths function to create multiple pages from a single source pages component during your build. Call get collection inside of get static paths to query your content or data collection. Then create a new URL path using the slug property, content collections, or ID property, data collections for each content entry. So it's basically just what we need from that. So this is going to be get collection newsletter. Yep. For your template, you can get the entry directly from the prop. Yep. This will generate a new page for every blog collection. For example, an entry in source content blog helloworld.md will have a slug of hello world. Yep. Yep. So not bothered about server-side one. Migrate from file, but if you have an existing Astro project such as a blog that uses Markdown MDX files in subfolders inside source pages, consider migrating related content or data files to content collections. See how to convert a basic blog. Okay. So we don't need to bother about that. Don't need to bother about that either. Working with dates and front matter. They're all fine, right? So let's bang this in. This is going to be newsletter. Right, let's get this running. Can't remember what the run command is. Just see what comes out. Just dev. Did I install it PM? No, it's npm. Let's see what it does. Out of the box. So created the slug, so newsletter. In fact, we'll put a content in here. Put a new file. Just put test one, so test.md dx. And then so what do we say this is going to have? It's going to have addition. Oops. Let's copy this and tweak it. So it's going to have additions. So it's going to be number. So it's going to be 1. Draft is going to be false for now. Publish date is going to be, what was it saying about dates? Yeah. So I'm guessing that's year, month, day. So 2024. Is it dashes? Yep, dash. 07-22. The thumbnail. I think for YAML it's just like this. And indents matter, so we're just going to fix that up. So alt is going to be alt text. Oops, oh that's let me get a placeholder one, please. Please bear. Yay, they still have this. So glad. Place bear. Ah, wrong size. No, wrong size. Yeah, it's a little bit pixely, but we'll take it. That's going to be source. All is going to be bear. Just put testing news letter. Okay. So if we go to /newsletter, it's going to be page not found. Newsletters. It's blank, and then newsletter slash. Hold on. You know, it might be easier to. Oops. Let me see. Yes, okay, right, this is what we need. So for the collections page, sorry, for this page, we need something like this. So it's going to be did we put publish date? We did. Publish date, yeah. So this is going to be newsletter. Let's see if that gives us what we need. Then we can just click. Okay, so we've got our first issue. Cannot read properties undefined to ISO string. Well, it's published date for us, not published. We've got that. Can we click that? Yes, so newsletter / test. So how is it generating? I'm guessing it's just taking the file name for that. So that'll do for me because I won't be changing the slug after it's been done. I think with the way that I'm writing content, so let's bring up Obsidian. edition one. I think what I'll do is with the editions, I'll make a slugified sort of version of this. Yeah, I like a shorter. In fact, I might maybe put a property in here and stuff that's a newsletter slug or something like that, so that it can be consistently found. But yeah, that gives us basically what we want for now. Wonder whether I need to reload, because TypeScript is not picking up. IntelliSense is not picking up on this. I think there's probably something not right here, because it should be picking up on these. Let's go back to documentation. I won't spend too long on this because we don't need every facet of things. So if you do not extend, yeah, we already do that. So yeah, not need if you use strict or strictest. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. We don't need to connect to CMS. We don't need to add an RSS feed. Although maybe connecting to, is there any option for Obsidian? I saw there was a good video. I can't remember what YouTube channel it was, with a guy that was putting Obsidian and Astro together. It seemed to work really well. I think for my setup at the minute, I want to keep it as simple as possible. And it's a little bit noddy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just copy the content from Obsidian into here and do things, yeah, by hand. I guess one thing I haven't thought about at the minute is where the images for these are going to go. But we'll come to that in like if we get to like a more advanced setup. So we actually get that page. We did, yeah. So testing newsletter. That's the title. Not because we just put the, yeah, we did put the thing output there. Okay. So we've got basic stuff with collections working. We don't need, would the RSS feed be, I suppose if it's not difficult to set up, then it'd be nice to have. So Astro supports fast, automatic RSS feed generation for blogs and other content websites. RSS feeds provide an easy way for users to subscribe to your content. Don't think a lot of people use them anymore, but if you get it for free, might as well use it. Create a file and source pages with your name, your choice extension of XML.js to be used as the output URL for your feed. Some common RSS feed URLs, for example, are feed.xml or RSS.xml. Yep. We'll create a feed at site RSS, okay. Put the RSS helper and yeah, all the best. So like the title of the blog, description, site, context, so that's the main thing, items, array of items in output XML, generate item section for using collections of glob imports, generate items. Yeah. I think I won't complicate the setup with this for now, just because if I can't see a direct use for this, then I don't think there's really any point setting it up like especially if I'm not going to actively sort of push people to, use the RSS feed and stuff. I'm just going to leave it as is. So we'll leave that. Assets. Okay, so I think images might be good to look at because it's managing content. After that, I don't think we need a lot of other things to kind of get started. Might have a look at the section for CSS and styling, but I think most of it will be set up with Tailwind. There might be a Tailwind of doing things. Let's jump through this section quickly. So yeah, so Astro files seem to allow you to do a similar thing to like Vue.js, where you can have like a style tag that'll be like scoped to this, and you can have like markup and stuff as well. So that's handy. Or you can put it into like the global style sheet when it's all combined across pages, which makes sense. CSS variables. In fact, let's go back to Obsidian because one thing I forgot about. So the site. So we'll flesh out the other collections. We'll put in some very basic dummy content type for now. Scaffold out the pages and templates and code. We'll get into that. Refactoring, yeah. So once we've got all right, yep. So we kind of already set up the sitemap, so we'll kind of click that. I guess one thing that we'll be doing next is, now that we've got that, at some point we'll be looking at templates and how to share. Where's templates now? The layouts even. So we've got this basic layout, which we're going to replace pretty much all of it. It's got a body slot and stuff. So it might be that this layout, this layout services all the pages, but I don't think so because I'm not sure. Yes, it won't be the only layout because layouts service the layout things. But what we'll do is these header sections, like this head section, will turn into a React component where if there is anything dynamic that needs to kind of go together with it, we'll add props and stuff, but otherwise it'll just become an include, and then we'll figure out how to do have React components in there. So we're going to cover CSS styles, images, fonts we don't need. We're just going to use Google Fonts. Data fetching, don't need. UI frameworks, this might be where React comes in. So React. Might be that we don't really need that. I'll come back to, let's come back to layouts very quickly. Yeah, we need to do stuff like that as well that we haven't done yet, which is front matter. There's a lot of SEO things we're going to need to like check. So we've got title, but that's just a title of, things are going to become components. Component JavaScript, component template. What does it say components are used for? Yeah, that's what we want really. So it's HTML only template and composer, no client-side runtime. Yeah, so I think what we'll try and do is we'll try and make them as make the header as like component, footer as component, and the rest as layouts. So coming back to CSS style where we were before, so in this, we don't need to kind of go through all this because I just noticed Tailwind is right there. So I guess once we've added Tailwind, which we already have, we've already set that up. What's the process of using Tailwind? Probably just start using the styles. I think we'll need a config file if we haven't got one already. You see, Tailwind. We have got one. Okay. So I have to come back and start setting up the theme. Let me add these to these tasks. So plan out content types. Yep, so start to cover Tailwind components. Let's split this out actually. So it's going to be start, so set up theme for Tailwind. And then that's going to be start refactoring code for Tailwind components and styling. Yeah, so header component, oops, footer component, footer component, not footer, footer, and then newsletter sign up component, because that's going to be shared throughout the code base. Might as well just have one that handles all of them in a basic way. We're doing okay time wise, got another hour and a half. Hopefully the camera has died. Yep, thought this might be the case. Are we gonna have to live with no camera, guys? And next time I'm gonna have to what you call it? I'm gonna have to get either like a virtual YouTuber thing going on, or I'm gonna have to get something else going. It won't turn back on at the minute. And if it does turn back on, I don't think it's going to stay that way. There we go. Are we back? I think we're back. I'm going to have to have some more sophisticated ways of switching between things as well. So not to jump around too much, we'll ignore the layout section for now, and we'll just start getting content, or at least dummy content stuff put into pages. So at least fleshing out a proper thing. So lorem, have the lorem ipsum plugin. Nope. It's not often I need to use it, to be fair. I think if the camera dies again, I just have to leave the camera. And I will swap over the camera to a webcam for Wednesday's stream to just see how the quality difference is for that. And if it's not really that noticeable, I'll figure out a better setup long term in terms of using the camera over the webcam. But if the camera quality is fine on the webcam, then we'll just carry on using that. Right. Stay focused. So, got a newsletter test. Right, so let's just finish up this a little bit. So we're going to have we said we're going to have this newsletter title. I'm going to put some like basic HTML blocking in, but not going to put everything in. I'm just going to block out this in a very, very basic way. Let me get some. If I can get some with. That'd be good enough. If we can get an image in here as well, that'd be nice. That's how they format code blocks. It's a little bit weird. Get an image in here, so. Oops. We'll just change it for the bare one. And then we'll come back to how I wonder if it's this. Yes, it was. Okay. Oops. How would code blocks normally work in Markdown? I've done it for a while. Code block. Yep, it's normally 3 tildes. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3. 1, 2, 3. See how that does. Bingo, much better. So, forget the formatting, that's not the important part of the minute. So we said on this template, we're going to have a section. So layout, okay. So this is the first one. So we've got a basic page with content. So a bit dummy content. I think it covers everything from the title. Hold on, actually it doesn't know. It's our pages. So it's kind of like this pseudo template. It's not the layout, but it yeah. So we're gonna have a section. I'm not going to include main in the wrapper or article as the type the tag thing and stuff, because there's going to be sections. The layout file for this, so I'm going to have a new layout. So it's going to be import layout. How does it use layout? Okay. So it's going to be layouts, newsletter. I'm going to shamelessly copy this and paste it. So newsletter.astro. That. Not going to add any styling for it this time. We're going to keep this, and then we're going to, for now, no, we'll keep it for now. Actually, we'll keep it for now. Title. That's how that gets there. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep that for now. Very basic. And then that means if this doesn't complain, I doesn't like absolute imports, so we'll just do it. It's because we're too deep. There we go. So we've got the test file, and we'll make use of everything. So title, thumbnail. Don't think we're going to display it on the template anywhere, but I will include it anyway. Yeah, it might just be used for meta purposes, but we'll think it anyway. So source, it's going to equal the entry dot data. What will be image thumbnail dot source. Maybe alt like that. Go back. Oh yeah, I had to scroll up. There it was. So it's there at the top. We're gonna have that section, and it's gonna be newsletter title. Might have that edition thing as a sort of like a separate part. It's sort of like a tagline. So sort of like a H3, or just as a small. It's not really anything of like note content wise. It's just a entry.data. What was it again? So published on what's the most accurate thing for a blog article now actually. So I'm going to see no, not CSS Tricks. It's Smashing Magazine. What's the most semantically correct thing for putting a date time on something? Yeah, so time, date, time. Okay. And for the life of me, I can't remember how time attribute works. Time HTML tag. Let's have a look. We just put in both, like the so if I put time date equals that. Whoops. We should stop doing that. Entry.data.publish date. See what that does. That will do, I imagine. And then in here, we're going to put published, published on, and then my date formatting skills are not very good at all. So, in fact, we'll shorten these things up because it's a little bit verbose over here. So we'll have, we'll call it, so we're going to break entry down because it's just a little bit heavy-winded. So like that, data, and then in fact we can do it in one line. So data as entry data, which just shorten things up immensely with like less dots and stuff going on. So entry data like that. Never. Just less chaining makes it a little bit tidier. In fact, we'll shorten it even more. So title, try and keep it in a line. So edition, title, publish date. I always like to keep things in alphabetical order because it just makes it easier to scan. That's a personal preference of mine. Thumbnail. Yeah, we'll keep them like that. So then this becomes defunct, and it's much shorter on that end. Is that? Spell that wrong. Everything still works. So then, yeah, and the camera's gone again. I think for this stream, we're going to have to just live without the camera for today. But tell you what, for now, I will come and hide the cam link for now. And we'll try and come back before the end of the stream so you can at least see my face. But yeah, we'll switch over to the webcam for live streams going forward. Or we'll use the fancy cam sparingly, not for long sessions, like the short video YouTube recording sections. So I'm gonna have to think about how I can have like the dual camera setup like for this. It's a little bit finicky. But anyway, we'll keep going. So we've got that. Oh yes, so date time publishing. What do we put in here? So published on, yeah, so I'll never ever remember how to do it off by heart, so format date. Well, there's got to be a better Astro format date. Got to be something better than that. Yeah, publish date. Oh, they might have an integration. That'd be good. Astro date integration. I come back and look at some of these. Might be useful. Yo. Ooh, that'd be quite cool. Be able to install the single page app, that'd be kind of nice. We've got MDX already in there. Let me see anything to do with dates. Not in the top stuff, so let me have a look. Date. Hmm. So add these. Export formatted publish date like that. So turn this into a function. Where are my fancy things gone? So const equals like that. Okay. Show publish date. So publish date. So English, we'll just keep English US. Year day, we'll see what happens with 4-digit month day. Yeah, we'll see what goes with that. There's always going to be a date from that. So we don't really need to do that new date from that. Just go straight to it. So we imported that in here. Can do publish date, and then it'll be publish date. Read that. Or we don't have source import, so I have to go back like this. Utils / format publish date. Let's see what comes out the other side. Oh, that's not the right formatting. Numeric. Yeah, so I don't really want it formatted like that. I want it formatted more like let's see if there's anything better out there. This is from the actual doc, so maybe this is a little bit better. Add a remark plugin. Might come back to this because modified date in SEO terms might be useful. Yes, but it's published date that we're more bothered about, so have to read up on the docs on this Day.js plugin, but we just want a basic way of outputting the month, the date format in a published sort of sense like this. So like published on July 1st, 2024, just so it makes sense for people reading it. I'm sure they've got examples. But I always think it reads better when you say July, the month number. Can you get the th with it? I'm not sure what that's called. So format publish from date. We have to update this. There's a bunch of stuff to import. So this stuff going at the top. We're gonna get rid of all this, to be honest. That, so it's gonna become Day.js like this. Like that. And that's not quite the format, but it's close, so we'll add that. I mean, do we need the UTC thing? I'm not sure we do. I'm not sure we need that. So let's see what comes out the other side. Oh, I'm not going to run, of course. We're doing time-wise, doing okay. Got another hour. Apologies for the no camera. We'll sort it out next time. Just check if anybody's actually on stream at the minute. And I just realized somebody is actually on stream for once. Let me have a look at that. although they might not be here anymore. So if anybody was on stream, I apologize. I'm new to this, so I'm still getting the hang of. How long ago was that? Oh, so that was a while ago. Yeah, I missed you. It's actually before I was too focused on coding and whatnot, so I didn't see your chat thing. I'm quite new to this, so apologies for missing that. What did you put down there? Yeah, so you used to use Netlify CMS. I've used it before. I haven't used Storyblock. That seems to be a sort of a new player in the block, at least in terms of for me, because I don't recognize it. So it would be cool to check out at some point, see if it's got more to offer than what's currently out there. So let's come back. So I've almost got the format right, but I like having the ith and the ist parts. In fact, I'm not even sure what they call that. What did they call it? Let me Google that. So date with what is the th/ist in dates called? Ordinal numbers. Okay. So date.js ordinal numbers. Oops. Ordinal. So DO, okay. Learn something new every day called ordinal numbers. DO. Let's see what it is. Oh, not quite. DO. Date of the month with ordinal. That's DO, it's not D0, is it? Can't be, that wouldn't make sense. DO, no, that's not right, is it? Oh, right, I see. Right, need to extend advanced format. Import advanced format from let's see how that does. Yay, it's got it. That's exactly what I wanted. Bingo, ordinal dates. I will remember that forever now, hopefully, until the next project comes along. So that's our formatted date. Very nicely done. What are we on? Yep, still got an hour left, so I'll have to have a better way of keeping an eye on chat things. I will get onto that at some point. I wonder from YouTube Studio whether I can like respond to like live tweets, not live tweets, like live chat things and stuff like that. without counting myself as a sort of a watcher, somebody who's watching now. The YouTube Studio app not good for like live streaming? Anyway, I'll come up with a better system at some point. It's a bit strange that none of the types are being picked up, but I don't think it's a killer for now. We know that things are working, so that's fine, all dandy. So I think with that on the page, we've got kind of like the rough skeleton of what we wanted with here. So title, edition, kind of swap the style around for that because it didn't really make sense like that. And what we'll do is we'll put a kind of like a placeholder for this, but this will actually go in the layout, I think, instead of the main page template. I think in the layout because we'll do the split thing side by side, so we'll control that from the layout, not from the page template. The page template will just do the main section and then the content section, and then go from there. Cool. So we've got that one. I think we said next we do project template. So as we've got that working, that's happy, hunky dory. Yeah, we were whittling through the Astro docs, but we gone through images. You know what? Let me come back to this now, just to look at. So it was saying, yeah, so store images. So let's store images. The source versus public. Public going to be, there's going to be no processing. So that's going to be for like favicons and stuff like that. So local images or content images are going to stay in the source folder with the MDX files, which makes sense. Easier to tell which images go into which as well anyway. Remote images, we're not too fussed about because we're not going to be doing that. Images in Astro files, so they can just be relative paths. What about content collections though? We'll redo this. So Astro assets, built-in image tag, optimized versions of the images. That's good. So my image, yep. Image tag. Images optimized, proper attributes enforced. Okay. Okay, that's useful. I think we will look at content collections one though. So images and content collections will be processed the same way they are in Markdown and MDX, depending on which file type you're using. Additionally, you can declare associated image for a content collections entry, such as a blog's post cover image, in your front matter using its path relative to the current folder. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so if we're in I think rather than sort of I'm just thinking about the organization of this. So we're going to have MDX files in the newsletter section. Do we want to have all assets for markdown files in one images section in there, or like we want a folder per newsletter to add all that stuff. I'm not sure what's going to be more manageable. I think we'll have an assets folder, so and I think they'll be split, so we'll have a images, we'll just have image for now, and then any local images that we do have will feed into that. Okay, so that'd be useful. We'll come back to validation on that because I'm not exactly sure what we will need for the cover image size dimensions wise, because what we'll probably end up using it for is we'll actually use it for content. The thumbnail image will probably become in fact, I'll have image, I'll have thumbnail folder as well, so thumbnail. Because these images will be passed to the metadata in the head component. Because what we're going to do is like the thumbnail will be used more for sharing and SEO purposes. So when you share things on Twitter, when you share things on whatever platform, Facebook and stuff like that, you'll have like an image meta tag, an image associated with that. And that will be that'll be useful for obviously like, you know, for kind of like sharing and stuff. So we use the thumbnail for that and actual images for content. I'll give a little whiz of this tag thing just to see what it outputs, what we've got here. So we've got the image. Let me pop this in, just see what it does. Just curious. Oh, it's because of a remote image. Wow, there's so many good helpers in Astro. Like the errors that the outputs and stuff is really good. Makes it very easy to figure things out. So okay, we had a look at images then, so we're fine on that. So now we've got like a basic content out in the page for that. That's all we need. We don't need to overcomplicate it anymore, at least for now. We can do finessing at some other point. And there's I think when we get the initial site set up, I'm going to come back again after these live streams and probably, you know, update the site as and when I go, because there'll probably be things that I find out from Google Search Console, stuff like that I just don't remember off the top of my head, of like things to do when setting up a site, because it's been a while. I have a thing here for like rich snippets and enriching page metadata, but I'm not going to remember all that like off the bat and the relevancy of each of it and stuff. So we'll keep running for now. So with that in place, we haven't created a branch, naughty, so we'll do that. Create a new branch, and we're going to call it so it's setting up first collection. There's quite a lot of code actually for one thing. When did that get added? Types. Did I add that? I mean, well, that got added. Leave that as is. I didn't update it, but I also didn't. Okay. Let's add all that. And it's going to be setting up dynamic newsletter route. This thing constantly. I'll have to figure out what the problem with this is. Or just start using the command line for everything again, which I should be doing. So do that. Oh, actually, one thing we want to add in is draft. So I think we want this, because I don't want this to get like indexed. This is going to be a test. So is draft true? And then I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to update this. So anything that's let me go back to collections, actually. 1 second. Rams looks like it's filtering things, but let's see what it's doing. Because this just gets all of them. So that's all the newsletter entries. And then it returns go back to that example of the draft. Yeah, okay. Okay. We've got a command that can run for prod. Preview, maybe try preview. So if I go back to this should still be available, I think. Yep. So then if we stop that and we do npm run preview, I wonder if this is preview, if it's going to be like a prod build. There's a build command which is used for prod GitHub action, so workflow deploy pages. Let's see what it does. So yeah, page not found. This is a preview. This is a preview of what prod will look like. So that's good to know that that'll just work as expected. So that's okay. We'll come back to that. That's good. We'll use that again for doing the project one. So it means I can happily publish this, and it's just not going to go like out to the thing. It won't get indexed, which is good. But I can still use it for testing, which is great. Okay. So add those. So use only for testing. Yeah. Okay. We have to keep using the command line. Which is fine by me. Yeah, we're going to end up copying this. This, maybe. Okay. So let's have a brief review of what we've got through so far setting up. So package lock is just installing Day.js, so we've added that, that's fine. Added the config.ts, and we've described the newsletter collection. Subject to change in the future, but that's fine for now. I've added just one test MDX file so we can test the output of the newsletter page. It's going to cover most content things we're going to place in there, and obviously styling everything else can come at a later point. This was added to the env.d.ts file. I didn't add this, so I'm just going to leave it because I imagine it's automatically added. Then this is the layout for the newsletter Astro file, giving it the title to pass on to the header tag, but we're going to come back and redo this because the head section, we're going to update this and make it much better for SEO, including all of our like favicons. Obviously, we've got the default favicon for now, but we'll update that so all favicons types are supported and generated. The title's done properly. Meta description's passed. I don't think there's a meta description at the minute. The Google Tag Manager, I don't think is actually set up properly. We've got analytics, but actually no, we do. It is set up. But we'll continue to make sure that's set up properly. We'll also extend all the metadata for the very social things. So we might look at one of those integrations that does social metadata and stuff. So we'll come back to that. Then this is the slug page for an individual newsletter. So we're going to basically copy the same thing for projects, but it's going to have slightly different props because of the page content it's going to serve. Newsletters made basically a basic list page, so we could just get to it for now. Just realized we might have to add that same logic there. Let me go back and add that logic. So what was that one? To filter out ones that are drafts, newsletters. So that, and then there was also, oops, my T. What was it? wasn't the layout, it was slug one. So if you preview that, I think the listicle page is going to be empty, hopefully. It'll generate a page, but it'll basically be empty because it won't be showing drafts. Yep. Cool. That's just what I wanted to check. So we will fix that, and then this is just a util function that we've added, so that's good. So might turn these into hooks. So no drafts. No. Yeah, what I might do for this function, if it becomes a little bit unwieldy doing this in different places, is have a hook that does this. Yeah, that does this in one go, so that it's copied. We don't have to copy and paste between the different places that it's being used. Got half an hour. Hit push. Refresh. We change that. We filter out. We're happy with that. That's okay. We'll merge, and off it goes. So let's check out the main branch. Check out master. Hit pull. We're just moving back to master. Don't need any changes. All the changes are going to be encapsulated in that pull request. So we're going to make a new branch now again. Going to get used to the command line now. So -b, and we're going to call it. Well, next is going to be setting up projects. So set up projects. Project collection. Push that to remote. So now we're going to get this running again. npm run dev. And we're going to copy this. So we're going to copy this. We have pages, new folder, project, and then in project we're going to have paste that slug. In projects we're going to kind of copy newsletters for now. Projects. So newsletter entries becomes project entries. So anywhere newsletter is put, it's going to become project. That's the projects one copied. This is for project. We're going to have a project Astro. But now again, it's a lot of copy paste, but I'm going to sort this out probably next time because I'm not going to have time on stream today. Project. That'll be fine. I know they're all the same, but we will make them useful in their own way soon. So a newsletter is going to become project. And then we need the config update big.ts for content. So we're going to have similar things for project, but it's not going to be exactly the same. So let's expand that. So projects collection is going to be of content too. We don't need edition, that's not part of the thing. In fact, let's get back to the wireframe. So project's going to have a title, description, and then it's going to have tags. Then we're going to have a GitHub repo link, YouTube tutorial link, a demo link, and again, so let's go through it one by one. So it's going to have a draft. If it's in draft or not published, that's still useful. Thumbnail, that's still useful for this. Might have a cover image as well, so we can have thumbnail. We will basically copy this to have a sort of a cover or a splash image, so like cover something that's like shows off this sort of project in full. We're gonna have title. Let's move this up. CIPT. Yep. Okay. So we said that. We said description. So string, as far as I know, because I think you put any amount of well, it's going to be a string. It's not going to be paragraphs and paragraphs. It's going to be a short description of things. Now, is there Zod things for links? Set up TypeScript. Yeah, so there was a thing for tags. So I'm going to copy that because we're going to use essentially the same. We're going to have tags. It's going to be a list of strings. I'm pretty sure there was something mentioned with we want links. I don't know how to have these as, can we have these formatted as links? I'll just try Zod. So there's going to be a section. I think I'll group them and stuff. There's going to be a section. There's going to be object for links. And there's going to be GitHub repo, YouTube tutorial. Yeah. So I have a section for links. And it'll be z.object. Zod.object. What was that? Object. So Zod object. No, not like that. So Zod object. And then Zod object is going to have, oops. So repo, and that's going to be z dot. Can we put href? Not reference, z dot. Might just have to be a string. Let me just quickly Google Zod link type. Validations, yeah, okay, so that's what we want. Is it one for a link, email, URL? That's the one, yeah, okay. So string dot URL, yeah, but yeah, all completes as well. Bingo. That's what we want. We're gonna have two more. Useful to know these actually because seems like Sod's got a lot of validation built into it, so it'd be good to put that into our typing where it's necessary to protect us. So repo link, YouTube, and demo. So like, yeah, demo link. That one first. Then yeah, yes. So we covered title, description, tags, links, cover image, and then the main content is just going to be the content, so we don't need more than that. So we've got everything that we need there in our collection type. So let's go back to the page template, and we've got all this. And some of these are not going to be valid anymore. So what did we say? Go back to that. So cover description. Let's think these out. Cover description. We don't need is draft. That's for internal uses. Links. Publish. Oops. Publish date might be useful for layout, but not necessarily. Tags. Thumbnail. What's the other one? Thumbnail and title. So let's have a look at the template here. So yeah, so I see this being one section with two splits. So like a main part and an aside, and then that's going to be like the main content of the page. So well, it's whether you class as it being a section and stuff. So come back to the semantics of that in a bit. So this section I'm going to have main. So it's going to have title. Yep. And then we're going to have brief descriptions of p tag. Description. Nope. And then for now, we'll just do URL lists. So we're going to have tags.map is a tag. And then, whoops, flip that out. So an individual one is going to be called tag. And then we're just going to return a li with tag like that. Very simple for now. I'll have to sort out these typings at some point. And then we haven't got really. We'll keep publish date out for now because we don't really need to display that. But we'll keep it as data for going forward. We can use it for SEO purposes and stuff, but we don't need to display it on the page. And then we're going to have 3 links. And one's going to be GitHub repo. YouTube. YouTube tutorial. And then view demo. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Why to do multi-cursor? Ah. So one's going to be repo, one's going to be YouTube, one's going to be demo, like that. So let's go to projects. Well, we haven't got any projects yet, so we have to add one before we can check anything. But I think that covers all the skeleton of the content for this. Let's add a dummy piece of content. So we're going to copy the same directory structure for this into project. But test project is going to be a little bit different in terms of its metadata. Yeah. So it's going to need, let's go back to config, cover description. Big bear, just to make it stand out a little bit. Don't need edition, but we do need, we've got cover description, yep, description, so oops, description, lorem ipsum is draft, yep, we've got that already, so then links. Oops, lonks. Links, so it's going to be repo. Let's come. Whoops. YouTube. Let me just put my GitHub link in there. Might as well. Gotta put the Rickroll. YouTube. And demo. https:// Liam Walsh. Well, Walsh.tech. We'll just leave it at that for now. What else are we missing? Links, publish date, tags, thumbnail, and title. So we've got thumbnail, got title. So testing project. And we need tags. So, whoops. Tags. So it's going to be like React, Tailwind, and Astro. See what it does with that. So it got an array, it got string, so we need to put that as an array. Is that happy now? Yep, much better. Go to the individual one. There we go. So let me just check that this is what we're expecting. So expected the title, just testing project, the description, tags, listed just a URL for now, 3 links going to various things, then the big splash image from the cover, and then the content. Fine, that's cool. That was good progress. So that's pretty much it for that. Let me add this along. So cancel that. Get add all. It with the message. Whoops. Still thinking about Mac. So all we've done is so we've set up basic output for project collections. Good push. One thing. It's just slipped my mind now. I was just thinking about something and I forgot. What was it? Oh, that was it. The sitemap output. Let's have a look at that. So if we do npm run build. There's a robots file. So that's that base one, it points to that. I'm not sure whether the sitemap is picking up exactly what we expect. Is there a config for sitemap? We did this last time and I haven't checked in on it since. I think it's going to be in the Astro config, isn't it? Sitemap. Oh, it might not be outputting anything because they were on draft. So they'll be excluded from that. Which makes sense. Okay. We'll make sure to come back and check that in the next thing. Go back to Obsidian. So set up the sitemap. So we've done that. I think we want to revisit. So revisit sitemap for real content added. Come back to that. Time's it now? 1:15, so we're almost kind of done for the day. I don't think there's anything else needed for now on this. There's a lot of tidy up we can come and do later with whatever, like TypeScript is not playing ball with these things. In fact, let me just delete this and see if this makes things any better. I'm not sure it will. Nope. So I think we can say that we've done these two basic things, and we haven't finished scaffolding out all the templates because let's go back to it, because we haven't done the list pages. Well, we've done a very, very basic list page. We haven't done the full thing of the list page, the about me /now page, and the home template. But we'll come. I think next time we'll do is we've got these two basic things set up. We've got this basic thing set up, but I think we'll make more semantic. We'll do some more semantic stuff around this. Then we'll come to the about slash now page slash generic sort of like pages, I guess. And then the home page last. Yeah. Well, I think that's probably a good time to call it quits there. Let me stream finished. Let's just review this quickly. Oops. So check out master, git status, git reset, hard head. I want to get pull in a minute once we've merged it. So a quick look. So we've updated the project collection definition, the config TS. We've included cover, image, description, the draft, boolean, links, publish date, tags, thumbnail, and title. So that's good. And then we've added just a dummy project to it, which is not super useful yet, but it will be. Then we added project layout, which we will, again, all these layout files will come back and make these a bit nicer. Then we've added the dynamic slug page for projects or individual projects. And then we just added the listicle sort of page for projects as well. So that's all good. Merge that. Delete branch. And then we've got a clean slate for next time. So git pull just to make sure things are up to date. Bingo. And I will try and get the camera on for one last look at us. Come on. There we go, we're back. Yay. Yeah, I'm gonna think of something different for code streaming. Yeah. But it's a little bit fiddly. If you can see on my setup now, you probably laugh a little bit because it is a bit yeah, I'm just like setting it up in a very ad hoc sort of way. And what I'll probably look at doing is probably look at getting my webcam set up in the same area, but in a way that hopefully doesn't block the other camera, or can just like sit it underneath it somehow, or still get this basically hopefully the same level of quality from the webcam. So next time I'll plan the next stream when I come out of this, what we're doing. So get back to this. Turn that back on. So next time, I think what we're going to do is we're going to flesh out the projects and newsletter template page. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit more semantically fully. Then we'll get into semantically building out the About Me Now generic pages. We'll build the About Me and Now page, but we'll have a very, very basic layout that can be used for both of them, and the home page. With all the semantics of that ironed out, hopefully the stream after that will then start looking at things like we'll like create a dynamic header and footer with sitemap links for the hook footer and the main links for the header and stuff like that. And then after that, hopefully we'll get into some nice things of starting to pull some styles together. Yeah, so we can start making things look pretty and presentable and something that people actually come to the website and use and experience. So yeah, so Julie, sorry I missed you before in the chat. Again, I'm like new to this, so I don't have a good way of sort of keeping an eye on chat. I only have one monitor, so I'll try and think of better way of capturing my desktop output while being able to see chat, but you guys not having to see chat on the window and stuff. But that's for me to worry about. So thanks for joining, and if you're coming back from the future, thanks for coming back in time and watching. Really appreciate it. We'll crack on with those next time, and see you soon. Adios.